Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my God. What a crazy, crazy, crazy match. Insane. The sweat, my heart rate, my nerves, the emotions towards the end. I thought we had it, guys. I thought we had it. I thought we had City in the bag. I thought it was a matter of time. I thought the goal was coming. Listen, it's full time between Liverpool and Manchester City. The game ended 1-1, and we are going to dive into a more in-depth talk about the players, some of the chances, some of the moments, some of the occasions that happen. So listen, here we are. Look at the man. Look at that man. Van Dijk, my captain, my goddamn captain. It's full time. I'm glad it's over. And breathe. All right. First and foremost, some of you may have seen my preview from yesterday. Went through the teams. A similar setup. We talk about what team I think Klopp's going to put out, and then we switch over to the team that I think going to put. Sorry. We talk about the team that I'm going to put out, and then we talk about the team that I think Klopp's going to put out, and then we talk about maybe the changes, what would work, what could happen, all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the side that I chose, and then we're going to make the changes to how it was with Klopp today, and then we're going to discuss like the players, a few of the moments, some key elements, some key points, and then we are going to go over across the player ratings. And so this should be interesting. Once again, anybody that viewed yesterday's preview, thank you very much for taking the time to at least watch, I don't know, however long you watched. If you didn't, there's plenty there to go and peek at and see what you think, how you feel about it. So first and foremost, we are going to get into the starting lineup. So yesterday, the team that I predicted was going to be Kelleher, Robertson. Ooh, no. It was, I predicted Robertson. Sorry, my bad. I predicted Robertson, VVD, Konate, Connor Bradley, McAllister, Endo Wataru, sorry. Harvey Elliott, and then we have Diaz, Gakpoo, Salah. So that was, and the Konate is already there. God damn it. There's always one that sneaks in, isn't it? Hold on a second. We've got to take him off. Listen, I haven't been streaming very long. I'm new to the game. We're new here. But listen, so this is my team. And we need to put in, actually, do you know what? He was in my starting 11, Konate. That's why he was actually there. So let's drag him into the position. Right. That's where he was supposed to be. So this was my 11 that I was going to start with. And my reasons were that we needed something in backup for Gakpo. For Gomez, if in case something happened, like with the centre-back partnership. Obviously, I thought Konate would make it. Obviously, it was Kwanzaa. But I just thought, you know what? Konate is going to be okay. He may start. Gomez is going to be needed in reserve. If Robertson gets injured, we have Tsimikas. So there wasn't really... I didn't feel like there was an issue for me to really go with Gomez. So I left Gomez out of the starting 11. Obviously, Trent's not around, so we had Connor Bradley and obviously Alisson. So Kelleher. So, and also... I just feel like, why do I keep saying Gakpo? He's on my brain because I was angry with him today. That's why. Robertson Robertson hasn't been back long from injury, but Gomez can come on and still offer something. Although I think with Robertson coming on, I think he offers more than Gakpo. I've done it again. Than Gomez does. Now. The midfield I went with Endo, obviously. I rate this player highly. Absolute. He's insane. I just love the way he's so simple with how he plays. So effective. I think he's fantastic. Clearly a late bloomer. probably given the opportunity at a big team too late in his career, bless him. He probably deserved this, you know, way earlier. Oh, we've moved the background there. We probably deserved this way earlier in his career, but luckily we've managed to. He's managed to do it now and get that chance. So if you go back through my videos, you'll see there is one on Endo, and it talks about him and what I think about him. Even when we was linked with him, it's there. You can check it out, how highly I rate him. When everybody was slaughtering him, laughing at his price tag, who's this guy, bottom of the league from Germany, you know, when everybody was slaughtering him, now everybody is on board. I'm telling you, for the love of God, I was one of the first people to say that Endo is a baller, and he will, in due time for us, start controlling in games. And you saw it in parts today on that pitch. He was balling out. He was fantastic. Harvey Elliott, I thought he'd start right side, ending up finishing right side. He was good today. He was fantastic today. I say right side. He didn't actually play the right side. And then obviously McAllister. I thought McAllister would start on the left. We'll talk about that as well. But yeah, McAllister has been fantastic. I don't really like him in the six. I think he's fine there. I think he's good there. I can appreciate him being there. But I do prefer him further forward. And my push when we was linked with Endo was that if Endo comes in, Endo's got to start as our DM. Which makes this place competitive and this place competitive, which is what we need in the squad. I don't think Endo is somebody that needs competitiveness. I think he is just, you will get, because the way he plays is not about, I think the way he plays, it's easy to be consistent because he's so simple with what he does. It's very repetitive. If you look at the great sort of sides from in the Premier League in the early days, and their DMs, well, back then they was more just defensive midfielders, usually in the 4-4-2. You can see for yourself, they was literally so kind of just simple with what they did. There was nothing complicated about it. There wasn't a Rodri, for example. You know, Rodri is simple in the way he plays, but he's quite complex in how he plays the DM role. Whereas I think Endo is a lot more simpler in the DM role. And Rodri plays his DM role further forward, a lot further forward than how Endo would play it. You could say Rodri is more advanced. He's probably better at playing it further forward, the DM role. Yeah, that's arguable, but Rodri's a world-class player. But I just think the way Endo plays it, it's more safer, and in terms of being caught, and in terms of, you know, teams getting in behind you because he's deeper, he's not so far forward. And just the way he plays the ball, left to right, moves it around. I just think he's fantastic. And then obviously the strikers, obviously Gakpoo. I said I'd go with Gakpoo to start, just because I feel like later on in the game, I think later on, because we had because it was a home game, and then we had the fans on our side, and you know, we was all, you know, the whole club thing, and it was, you know, a must-win game, or not a must-win game, but you know, ideally in the perfect world, we win. I just felt like the ascendancy would naturally be with us. Yes, they would come and do their thing, City, and, you know, try and pass the ball around, but the crowd would be whistling like they were, you know, it'd be uncomfortable, like their players will, you know, be trying to concentrate, and all they can hear these crazy whistles in the air. I saw the crowd cause Man City to misplace passes and make mistakes. The crowd did that. That was Liverpool. That was the crowd. Every time they got the ball, you know, and it was funny. It was almost like City were playing against the crowd sometimes, because City were passing the ball around, and their aim is literally to keep possession until the crowd dies out, until the crowd stops whistling, and then it's like. And it's almost like to them, they've gained the upper hand and they've won in that scenario, haven't they? You know, but yeah, there was many times when they actually messed up passes. Imagine that. Imagine like that many people like whistling and screaming at you, like when you pick the ball. That must be so terrifying. Honestly, it must be terrifying. But they actually City, there was a couple of occasions when they done it very well, and we never got anywhere near the ball. And this was marginally through the first half. I'd say around 18 to 24, 5 minutes of that game was that first half was about City's. I think the rest of the match was pretty much of pretty much all us, barring a few opportunities in between, spouts of possession for City on the counter, etc., etc. But yeah, back to Gakpo. I thought because of the way the game would pan out, I thought the crowd would push us down the pitch. We'd be running on energy and momentum, and I felt like I just felt like the team would get up the pitch. I think we'd just be that energy, like, you know, squash City, you know, close them down, press them, and I just feel like the team would have guarded him chances almost. I think in the latter stages of the game, when players don't have as much energy, I then feel like, you know, the spaces open up. Then it will be harder for him to. It'll be harder for us to get him the ball in opposite end of the pitch, where we want him to have the ball in front of goal. So therefore, in order to cover those gaps, I feel like that's when Nunes would have been ideal, because we'd drop off a little bit due to tiredness and fatigue, etc. But Nunes can make up the space running in behind later on in the game. So that was my thoughts on like who should start, why I had Gakpo to start, etc. And Diaz was always going to start anyway, because Diaz is Diaz. I love him to bits, and yeah, I think the way people were shouting about him being bad or useless or this, that, and the other was absolutely embarrassing. I'm sorry, like if you was one of those people, it's embarrassing. Like Diaz is an amazing player. He's very, very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Diaz across the middle in that Mane role, in the latter Mane role, the latter part of Mane's career of Salah, when he moved into the middle. I mean, I wish we would have had Diaz and Mane and Salah for like 3 or 4 years together. That would have been insane. But as again, I reiterate, I feel like Klopp, even though Klopp's, you know, leaving and whatnot, I feel like he's still trying to bed Gakpo into this Firmino style role. I still think he is. I'm not sure if it's coming off. He may need another season or two to really change it up and get used to it. We're playing a little bit of a different style, but I still think we have a lot of similarities from the Henderson, Gini, and Fabinho era. 100%, especially with work rate and the free workhorse midfielders. People might say, "Oh, they're not workhorses." They are workhorses. The whole team is a workhorse, and they're all workhorses. These here are just a better, you know, we're at a level we were when Klopp picked us up. You know, Gini Wijnaldum was a steal. Henderson was already there, so we got lodged with Henderson. Harvey Elliott was, you know, potential from the academy. So was, like, we couldn't pull those players. We couldn't pull top level players like we can now. We can pull top level players, and we haven't needed to on all occasions, but we have, and we can. Now, Klopp signings, obviously, you know, instead of a Wijnaldum, if Klopp had taken over a team in first or second, he wouldn't have signed Wijnaldum. He would have signed a better player of that plays that position. And if we look at it now, an example of that would have been McAllister. You know, Klopp isn't gonna, you know, sign somebody. Let's just say that Wijnaldum was of this era, right? Let's just say he's around the same age as McAllister and whatnot, and they're both kind of balling. Klopp wouldn't go now and sign Wijnaldum. He'd sign McAllister because McAllister's a top level player. But at the time where the team was, he couldn't get a McAllister. Yeah. He could only get like a Wijnaldum, who was a very good player, managed to get him in, and by getting him in, he built the team up. But we don't need to look at those areas now. We can sign top level players, and this is why I still believe it's a workhorse midfield, but I feel like it's just got the quality and the level of top players, and he's molded that level of quality that into workhorses, but workhorses with quality. So they're now Trojan horses. Yeah, they're viruses. Yeah, they're dangers. They mess your, they mess you up. They're Trojan horses. That's what they are now. The Trojan horse midfield, man. They are whole viruses, like a virus running around, just attacking everything, intercepting. You know, that's what they are. They're the Trojan midfield, and so yeah, and another example, like I say in other my other videos, is like Henderson and Szoboszlai. If you look at them, player for player, Szoboszlai is a lot more talented, a lot more creative. But if you look at their stature, what they do, very, very similar. Work rate, very, very similar. They're similar in so many aspects. But Szoboszlai just has that extra creativity. And it's as simple as that. Fabinho is an interesting one. Obviously, Klopp signed him. And Fabinho is one of the best DMs around at the time. Kind of went under the radar. A lot of people didn't actually know about Fabinho. For me, Fabinho has always been that kind of squad midfielder for, like, especially for Brazil. He never really, in my opinion, he never really reached the top level of DM. Neither is Endo. But I think at around the time where we were, I think Fabinho, we were shopping in that Fabinho market. He was always on the periphery of the Brazil squad, behind Fred. Obviously, Casemiro had his place. But yeah, some of you may disagree, which is absolutely fine. But for me, he was never top level DM. Maybe when he was with us, with the players around him, he turned into that A-list, top level, A level, whatever you want to call it, top tier DM. I can agree with that for sure. Under us, prime Klopp team, yeah. Salah, Mane, prime Salah, Mane, Firmino, Fabinho, Wijnaldum. Yeah, that team, Fabinho was prime. Then maybe a season or two you could say he was top level DM. But when we got him, for me he wasn't top level. He wasn't a top level DM. Now, but he was available in the market that we was shopping in. So it made sense for us to purchase him. Now Endo is a bit different. I think he is the way he plays suits the faster game. Endo is about interceptions, shutting spaces. He can do the physical thing, and I think actually he's holding back in that area. I think when he first came to us, he didn't really want to make too many mistakes. He wanted to keep it simple, bed himself in, learn a bit of the language, get to know the boys, and slowly unleash what he's capable of, his abilities. I think he fits this Liverpool midfield better than Firmino does. I think he can sort of turn quicker, he can react quicker, Endo, and he also passes forward. The only things if you compare, and I said this again in some of my other videos, if you compare Fabinho to Endo, the only things Endo loses out on are one-on-one duels and aerial balls. Aerial balls, Endo is very good at. Don't get it twisted. He's very good at. Don't be deceived. Many times he's played centre back at his old side in Germany. Many times he played centre back. For Japan, he's filled in. He's ever present in the Japanese side when it comes to first 11. They've had some magnificent victories and some fantastic runs in Asian Cup and the World Cup, even qualifications and even big matches against European sides. So Endo for me is Endo for me is massive. He's massive under Klopp in that position. We are gonna talk about the Doku challenge on McAllister. The Doku challenge on McAllister. Now, anywhere else on the pitch, that it is a free kick. It hits McAllister's shoulder. Listen, the ball comes down, McAllister touches the ball first, right? He chests it, shoulders it, that area, right, the chest shoulder area. Does he have full control of the ball in his possession? Don't know. Did he touch the ball first? Is it likelier that he had the ball in his possession? Yeah, probably. Should Doku's foot be that high initially? No, I don't think it should be. Was he even was he even conscious that he could have given away a penalty? It don't feel like it doesn't seem like he was very conscious of it. Why would your foot be up that high if it makes no sense? Was there contact with the studs on McAllister's chest? I bet you if McAllister shows his chest or his stomach area, rib part lower down, I bet you there are marks. I bet you there are stud marks. I bet you there are. Maybe not like massive ones, but I bet you there is a reddening of stud marks. Yeah, they might be like quite light. It might be quite light scratches, but I bet you there is marks still, some kind of redness, contact. It's a penalty. It is a penalty. It's a stone cold penalty. We was robbed. We was absolutely robbed. Now, I'm all for the rule of, you see, Doku, I don't even think Doku didn't get a yellow card, because then it would have been a foul. Which means if it's a foul, they have to give a penalty. I mean, it's arguably a red card, to be fair. Which means it's definitely a penalty if it's a red card, right? So they weren't going to get a red card. And the ref couldn't give him a yellow card, like I just said, because otherwise then it's a penalty. And what's annoying is that if a referee doesn't know, he doesn't do anything about it. He doesn't blow. He don't make a decision. He leaves the play to go on. And then VAR look back at it. VAR, they deal with it. They look back at that situation and then they deal with it. And if they see anything, then they pull it back. Why didn't they pull it back? And what they would say is, what is that classic line that they like to use? It wasn't an obvious error. Was it an obvious error or something like that? It wasn't an obvious error. Something along them lines. That's what they'll say. Was it an obvious error? So, or obvious mistake. Something like that. Something like that. And that is one way that they can just bypass the situation, because they'll just say, well, it wasn't an obvious error from the referee. What the hell does that mean? I hate that. Clear and obvious. I hate that. It's just a corrupt way of sort of not dealing with a situation. It's just a cop out, no pun intended. Absolute cop out. It was 100% a goddamn penalty. It's a penalty. Penalty all over. And you know why? You know why it wasn't given? Because it would ruin City's hopes of winning. Because they'd have been in trouble. If they lost this game today, City would have been in trouble. They would have been massively in trouble. I still think City are sort of in trouble, to be fair. Maybe. I think this game for them was more important to win than us. Because they have to go and play Arsenal. And if they lose to Arsenal, they're out of it. we'll then need Arsenal to drop points. No, we won't. We'll be level, because if we win our next game and they win, we'll be level. City will be behind, so we'll be level. Arsenal and Liverpool will be level. I'm pretty sure of it. That would be level, because we're level now, and the games are equal. They're just higher on goal difference. I'm 100% sure of that. So if we both win, we're neck and neck. But yeah, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted at how that wasn't a penalty. So bad. Edison on Nunes, red, yellow. Was that a penalty? Definitely a penalty. And he got a yellow card. I think he got a yellow card. Barrett got a yellow card. Ultimately, he had to go off anyway because he was injured. Do I think it was a red? It wouldn't have surprised me if a red was given. It really wouldn't have. And do I think it was a red? It's a tough one, because I'm happy with a yellow and a penalty. I always think that a red card and then a penalty, I always think that ruins football games. And I don't think you should get a double punishment. I think it should be one or the other. So I think a yellow card and a penalty is right. And I would probably think I'll probably be okay with him only getting a yellow. The fact that he got injured was his karma anyway. Could he have got a red? Yes, he could have. But I don't think. I'm happy that in this day and age, in this day and age, it's only rarely yellow and a penalty. Because I think there are more worse challenges for a red. So I mean, if Edison came out sliding with 2 foot kind of at him to tackle him, and then he took out Nunes, then I think that's a red, because I think that's a dangerous tackle. Then I think it's a red. But because he was upright, and it was just like a foul basically. I think for something like that, you'll get a yellow card around the pitch in other areas. So I think it's right. I think that's fair. I'm happy with that. Took advantage of the penalty. Lovely left side of the right side of the net if you're the goalie. Corner netting, side netting, inside netting, whatever you want to call it, by McAllister. Missed 1 in 10 or 12, something like that, penalties. Definitely probably my guy to take penalties, actually, moving forward. Definitely think he's the one. Yeah, definitely Mac. VVD man of the match. That's what happened. That's what he got. He got man of the match. I'm not against that. I think he was solid throughout. You know, governed the back line. We had a young blood in there. Kwanzaa. He was also fantastic. I think he marshaled them brilliantly. Also Conor Bradley. I think Kwanzaa more so because it's his first City game of this magnitude, but also he's in a much more important position. I think when you have the right backs and left backs going forward, it's because they are instructed to go forward, it's kind of not their responsibility. Well, it is to get back and help, but when they go forward, you have the centre backs, then it's theirs, and it's also the DM's responsibility to cover the right and left backs, full backs, whatever you want to call them. So many goddamn names these days, right? So it's up to them to cover. So I think there's less importance on Connor to defend than Kwanzaa. Because I just think Kwanzaa's position is just, it's the heart, isn't it? It's your last man predominantly, pretty much. So yeah, that was excellent. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bring up the substitutions, the subs as well, and the rest of the players. So I had Klopp subs. We could get rid of the full-time thing. That one, or that one, or that one. Right. So Klopp subs. I had Jaden Dance. It was only today that I knew he had concussion from that injury from I think it was against Nottingham Forest or wherever it was. So he suffered a concussion, so he wasn't going to play. That's why he wasn't around. But I didn't know. That was yesterday. I should have done a little bit of research. I didn't have time. I'm a busy person. But anyway, obviously Kwanzaa. Let's just quickly move him to here real quick. I had him in the lineup. Let me put Konate back. So we had Kwanzaa, Nunes, Bobby Clark, Spozlai, Adrian, Tsimikas, Gomez, McConnell. Are we missing one? We are missing one. Who are we missing? I'm sure it will come to me in a minute. Injury list. Oh my goodness sakes. Allison, Gravenberch, Thiago, Curtis Jones, Jota, Trent, Matip, Dirk. I mean, normally Dirk's not first team, and neither is Bajcetic. But listen, they would have been involved, had they been fit. Youngry Birds are, as some of you know, players on the peripheral of the first team and are close to breaking in or in and around the first team. Generally youth players, young players coming through. Owen Beck, who hasn't been around for a while, Amari Nalo, Unyoni, Cade Gordon, and obviously Lewis Kumas. Now this was my predicted. This is the 11 that I thought Klopp was gonna go with first and foremost. And these are the substitutions. This is what I thought that he would kind of make use of. I thought he'd have like a dance. I was looking at the other players, who's fit, who's not fit, and I kind of thought, yeah, I went with Gomez not to start because I feel like Klopp needed him in case we had an injury at centre back. Yeah, so there's reasons for why I thought certain players would start over other certain players. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to switch it up to what Klopp actually played and Klopp's actual subs bench, right? So Robertson was out and Gomez came in at left back, right? So let's switch those two. Then we had Salah was on the bench, Harvey was here, McAllister dropped in there, and Sabozalai, where are you? Is that who I'm missing? Where are you? Where the hell is Sabozalai? What the hell? Where the hell is Sabozalai? Oh my god. Why does that keep moving? Oh my god. They've lost Sabozalai. Oh, he's underneath Konsa. Oh my god. You had him, boy. Alright. Now we got God. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. My man. Alright. So now Sabozalai is there. Right? We had McAllister, Sabozalai, Endo. And obviously the front three. Nunes came in for Gakpo. There was no Dans either. So Dans can drop down here. We had Nala on the bench. We had Salah on the bench as well. We had Nala on the bench. Somebody wasn't here. I'm not sure who it was. Wait, Konate. So Konate was injured. And Kwanzaa started. Boom, boom, boom. Then we also had Kumas was another option on the bench. So I think, if I'm correct, that is that was the subs bench. Yeah, Salah, Gakpo, Robertson, Adrian, Tsimikas, Clark, McConnell, Nello, and Kumas. So that's what Klopp picked out for substitutions. Look at those injuries, man. My goodness sakes. That's insane. The injuries, that's just mad. Look at that. Crazy. Alright, so that's Klopp picked out these subs to help him through this game, and this was his starting lineup. Wasn't far off it, really. There was a few changes. I think the Gomez, I think it was probably a good yeah, because when Robertson came on, he offered a lot going forward in the latter stages. When I saw the lineup, I kind of thought, you know what, that's what he's going for. But providing, you know, Van Dijk, I guess not. If Kwanzaa gets injured, you just move Gomez centre back, don't you? You just move Gomez centre back, and then you bring on Tsimikas and play left back. And I guess that way you save a substitution. So actually, Klopp, well done. Hear me giving Klopp well done. No, it makes complete sense. Like when I think about it, and then you actually leave a spare man free off the bench then, because you can move him if one gets injured rather than bringing one on. But yeah, because that's what he did. That was obviously the plan, because he took off Conor Bradley, who I thought Conor Bradley had Silva and Aki on toast. So I was really gutted when I saw Bradley come off. I was gutted. Plus, kid's hungry. He's at Anfield. Wants to win this league. He's got energy for days. Youth, young, energetic. Did not look scared. Did not look out of place. I also think maybe Klopp did that change because of the latter stages in games. In a game where Pep might bring on Doku or might bring on a Foden or something like that. Obviously Foden started. Or you might bring on an Alvarez. Klopp didn't know what Pep was going to do, obviously. So I think he thought they've got a strong winger and they probably are going to bring one of them on. So if what we can do, they're going to try and strengthen that side of the pitch. What we can do is that we can switch our left back and get stronger defensively, you know, arguably stronger, because I actually think Conor Bradley's better than Joe Gomez going forward on the right side. I think out of our fullbacks, I think Gomez is the worst. Trent's the best, Then I think Robertson. Actually, no. I actually think Conor Bradley is better than Robertson going forward. I think he's got more craft about him than Robertson. But then Robertson, and then Joe Gomez, and then obviously, I think Tim, maybe even Tsimikas is ahead of Joe Gomez as well. I think Joe Gomez is least creative going forward in the opposition's half, attacking wise. And Trent obviously first. So yeah, it was really smart of Klopp to kind of think, well, if you're going to bring on Doku or Foden or Alvarez or somebody, Nunez or something, I can switch my right back to the left side, and then you don't. Gomez is Gomez. I don't know if Gomez is better defensively than Conor Bradley. I don't know. I think what Klopp's gone for is just experience. He probably is better defensively. Is he? I think Conor Bradley is faster than Gomez. I don't think Gomez is fast. I've never thought Gomez was that fast, to be fair. He's faster than Trent. Not on the ball, but he's definitely faster off the ball. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you really. If you said, "Oh, do you want Conor or do you want Gomez at right back?" I think it's just personal preference. I think they share a lot of the same attributes. I think Conor's hunger and desire and willingness is probably a little bit more, maybe potentially you could say. But even that is subjective. To say that somebody plays for the shirt badge more than somebody else is very subjective. But I just feel like he's young. He's got that. You know, he's got that vibe about him. You know, he's got that hunger, desire. You know, Gomez is. You know, it's just starting for Conor Bradley. Gomez has been here for like ever. You know, the guy in Peter Pan. Gomez is Peter Pan. He's the guy that doesn't age, doesn't get old. He's just still the same. It's crazy. But yeah. So it was smart. It was a smart plan from Klopp. I get it now. It makes sense. Kwanzaa, I thought. I said in my preview, if we have Konate, we win. If we have Kwanzaa, we draw. We drew. I'm not saying we didn't win because of Kwanzaa. That's what it sounds like, but that's not the case because we should have won. 100% should have won. Kwanzaa was fantastic. He was immense. He was as good as VVD. Oh, I don't know, maybe, or maybe just a little bit off. VVD got man of the match. Remember, although I don't think he was. He wasn't my man of the match. My man of the match. I'll tell you in a minute. So, but Kwanzaa he was fantastic. I was a bit worried, but one thing of these two centre backs is that both of them together are quite similar. And I think they both play similar. Whereas more time you have one which is like you have centre backs that are usually different. Because Kwanzaa is nothing like a Konate. Excuse me. Kwanzaa is nothing like a Konate. So Kwanzaa plays the game like Van VVD does, and being around him, and obviously you saw the interview. If you did, or you didn't, you know the him aspiring to be similar or to learn from him. You can see the traits. You can see them. VVQ. We're calling him VVQ for a reason. Virgil Van Kwanzaa. You know. It's crazy. You know, and I think they both read the game, and Kwanzaa's learning. But I think Kwanzaa is a reader of the game. Like I just said, similar to Van Dijk, he reads the game so well that he sees things before they happen, and he stops situations happening before they develop. He's proactive or preemptive, not reactive. You know, Konate reacts. You know, Kwanzaa plays like VVD. So, I mean, in time you probably get Kwanzaa and VVD partnership once VVD moves on. Kwanzaa and Konate partnership. Sorry, did I say Kwanzaa and VVD? I'm not sure. Kwanzaa and Konate partnership is maybe pretty much the future. But I think this partnership with VVD and Kwanzaa is very interesting because they're both similar. So they both defend the same way. So it's almost like having two VVDs, which is a problem. That's a massive problem. That is a massive problem. Like, if VVD can keep his form for 2 more years, if we can hold on to this form 2 more years, when Kwanzaa is 2 more years experienced, that season, if VVD can hold it there, this defense, I think will be solid. I think it'll be brilliant. So yeah, but I was very impressed with him, and he definitely replayed Klopp with a huge amount of faith in him for the future. And yeah, it's a great learning curve. And same with Conor Bradley, can't fault him. He was immense. He was brilliant, solid. McAllister, Szoboszlai started over, I guess it would have been Harvey Elliott in that position. Not sure why he swapped these. I felt like McAllister was more to the right. Maybe it was the link-up play here. It's quite young. Maybe they wanted a bit of experience in there, whereas these two are already experienced. Maybe he just wanted, I don't know. Could have been the right foot, the shots, the shooting. I don't know. It would be an interesting one to know why he was playing in that position. I reckon it's just because we needed some more physicality on this side. Potentially with Doku. Yeah. And the good thing about Elliott in this position is he really does track back. There was so many times when I saw Elliott and Bradley ganging up on Silva and ganging up on Aki as well when he tried to push on. It was fantastic. And even when Doku came on as well, Elliott was, Elliott pretty much had dropped into midfield by that time. But yeah, he was still getting in there and helping Gomez defend, etc., etc. So yeah, but Szoboszlai's form, he's kind of dropped off. It's not the Szoboszlai from when he first came. I think it's because maybe he's not really got the pressure. Not really got a pressure on him at the moment at all. I think once Trent is fit and Trent moves into midfield, hopefully, maybe, I think Szoboszlai will be looking over his shoulder. It could be quite uncomfortable for Szoboszlai. I ain't gonna lie, it could be, because I feel like Conor Bradley should play right back. I'm not gonna lie, I think Conor Bradley should play right back. The other thing is what about Trent in like a wing position, like a Beckham-esque style on the right wing? That could be interesting, and he could drop back and play from deep, like a winger that kind of plays from here or something. I don't know. That'd be interesting, because of the way. But the thing is, when he is further down, you lose his long range passing. I really wish Trent could just defend like Conor Bradley can. I just wish he could, because he'd just be the complete player. He'd be such a I wanted to swear. It would be such a scintillating player if he could just defend as just half as good as Conor Bradley could. He's not a bad defender, Trent, but he's not elite when you are playing against elite teams. He's not elite. I bet you they score today if Trent plays. But then you can argue that if Trent plays, we score more. Or so it's like lesser of the two evils, right? take your pick type thing. So yeah, Harvey was, Harvey was doing what Harvey does. In my preview, I shouted for Harvey to start right in midfield. I think he warrants to start. I was happy to see him start. I have no problems with Harvey playing midfield these days. His energy today was relentless. I remember seeing one pivotal moment where if he doesn't make the challenge, he comes sliding in and he wins the ball. If he doesn't win that ball, then they're in, like they're literally in past. They've beaten our press or whatever it is. And they are in on goal. But he was a bundle of energy. He was an absolute bundle of energy. Fantastic. The substitution that Klopp made for Darwin for Gakpoo for Darwin. It should have come around 85 minutes. I get taking him off early because of, there's more matches and stuff. Maybe not 85, maybe 80. It just came too early. I'm not saying don't make the substitution. I'm fine with making the substitution. Absolutely 100%. I'm fine with it. But it just came a little too early for me. I think Gakpoo should have come on 80 to 85 minutes. Because the minute he went off, and it's like I said before, when he went off, the team's tired, so there's no outlet. In order to get Gakpoo involved, right, the team as a unit has to get right up the pitch. You got to push right forward. So all of you got to be up. And when you're in those dying, minutes of the not exactly dying minutes of the game, but like 10 minutes away from the end or whatever it might, they're pivotal. It's coming towards the end of the game. It's pivotal. It's squeaky bum time. It's pivotal moment in the game, right? So conceding then is like you can't concede then. That's the wrong time to concede. If you're gonna concede, at least when we conceded, it was in the first half, and we had a whole half to come like, right, we know what we got to do. Let's do this, and we came out and we did it. But I just think at that period of the game, you don't want to be pushing your team right on the pitch so that your striker can actually get in the box and you can create chances for him. I think Nunes, you can be deeper down, you can sit back, sit deeper, and you just make the pass, and Nunes creates the chance for himself. It's a problem. Well, actually, it's not really a problem because we've seen City do it. Like City, like the example is Haaland. Haaland, you can move up the pitch with Haaland, then you've got him in the box for headers and stuff. You can also be deep, and then Haaland can run in behind if you've got KDB. We've seen it. I don't think we see it too much. I don't think Haaland's got the best movement. I'll be honest with you. I really don't. I don't think he's got the best movement. I think at lower sides, he kind of shines a bit in the Lutons, the Sheffield Uniteds. He bags like stupid amount of goals. I mean, his portfolio of goals must be some of the worst goals in football history for a player that scores so many. He must have so much replica carbon copy goals. It must be unreal. Like, you would definitely not want to. His goal shot, his YouTube goal reel would send you to sleep. Like, it really would. Like, they are so. I'm sure they are such carbon copies of one another. Just the way he plays, he kind of does the same thing. Today he was just like, it wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. Him and KDB wasn't even there. I thought he'd have a bit of luck against Kwanzaa in some way or another, but he never. And I think that's just because Kwanzaa dealt with him, just read into things and stopped stuff getting over to him before it happened. And then VVD was the same. There was one moment where he got a shot off. He didn't beat VVD. I thought VVD was gonna fall. I was like, please don't drop, because the rival fans will be tweeting that round all over the place. But yeah, I think he kind of just done enough to kind of And it was a good shot from Haaland. You can argue that he didn't get it as clean as he would have liked to, because he just went center of the goal. But the important thing is, in Haaland's case, is that he got his shot off, which is all that matters to him. But yeah, other than that situation, Haaland didn't have anything. Even that was half a chance. Fair play to Haaland though, actually trying to take on. He actually tried to take on VVD. He actually tried to take it on. So fair play. Did he beat him? I don't know. I personally don't think he beat him. I think it's easy for somebody to kick the ball to the side and have a shot. I think it's easy. It's why I always say KDB doesn't beat players. People probably think I'm crazy. If you go, and I actually did this, I went on to his best pieces of play, best goals and stuff. He doesn't beat a player directly. He just moves the ball away from the play into a space. That's not beating a player. He doesn't go past players. He doesn't. It's funny. You'll have to see his goal, like the way he scores in passages of play, to know what I mean. I did, like, what was it? His top 50 or something like that. I went through one of his most recent videos. Someone put together a collage of all of his most recent top 50 goals, or it was assists, one or the other. And I'm telling you, out of all of those assist goals that I saw, I tell you, I can count on my hands. Yeah, one hand. It was no more than 5 times. Yeah, that he went directly past a player, like cleanly beating them. See ya, we don't want to be ya. That kind of beating them, like actually, where the guy cannot come back and put a challenge in. That is what I call beating a player, and he doesn't do that. Even today, go watch this match again. Watch the match again. Watch KDB, and see if there was any point in the game where he beat a player one-on-one. The player is in front of him, and he goes past the player. Not the ball is played into KDB in front of the defender, and the defender's chasing, and KDB crosses it. That's not KDB beating a defender. That's him just getting a crossing past the defender. That's not beating a defender. I'm talking one-on-one, beats the defender, good night, go to bed, see you later. Yeah, he doesn't beat players like that. But yeah, my KDB ran over. And by the way, who the hell are you, KDB, to be talking to your manager like that? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Like, honestly, who are you? How rude, you goddamn little CU. I'm gonna stop there. How rude. Spoiled little rat. You absolute little spoiled rat. You was a nobody until the age 25 when you came to City. You was a nobody. Now you think you've had your, how many years is it? You've had your 6-7 years, and you think you're some kind of superstar to be back, like, you know, being the disrespect to your manager. You would have had nothing if it wasn't for that manager bringing you to City. Nothing. The best manager probably of all time, and you think you can talk to him like that or react like that? Who do you think you are, bro? Who do you think you are? Anyway, we've seen this before. Later, he'll be gone. I reckon City don't win anything this season. If they don't win the Champions League and they don't win the league, right? Maybe not even the FA Cup because Liverpool there. If we don't win any of those, could be seeing KDB leaving. I reckon KDB could go to Bayern Munich, or he could. I definitely think Pep is thinking about something new. He has to. He has to. I'll be surprised. Or maybe Pep just ducks before, you know, KDB. I don't know what his contract is like. I don't know how long he's got left. Or maybe Pep leaves before KDB leaves, so he doesn't have to deal with that. You know, that whole scenario. But it wouldn't surprise me if you know, KDB gets sold on to, like, I don't know, Saudi or the major league in the US or something like that, because man, Anyway, and he also he's he done nothing in this big game. He's getting on now, man. Next year he's not gonna get any better. Next year will be worse than this year. You know. So yeah, the City dominance. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be hard to replace Rodri and KDB. And I even think Rodri is coming to an era of his career where I don't know if he's really prime anymore. He might be at the end of his prime period. Because today I don't know if he had the best of performances at all. Some sloppy passes. You know, I mean, we can be picky, of course we can. Ultimately, he was still playing good, still playing brilliant. But yeah, it's interesting, right? Alisson Kelleher. This is a tricky one. See, it's weird because I don't think Alisson should come back into the squad until something happens to Kelleher. Crazy take, I know. Absolutely mad take. But I don't think he should. I honestly don't think he should. I think Kelleher should play the rest of the season. He's in great form. He's confident. You know, anybody could say, "Oh yeah, Alisson would have saved that on a near post." If buts and maybes. One thing I will say though is that Kelleher with his feet is much better than Alisson. And Alisson is ropey on his feet, and he probably would have got caught out today, to be fair. And he has got mistakes in him, Alisson. I definitely think Kelleher on his feet is. Klopp knows this as well. On his feet, I think he's fantastic with his feet. He's brilliant. Kelleher today was magnificent. What a big save against Foden as well. He was superb. I wouldn't change it. Honestly, I wouldn't mess it up. I wouldn't mess it up. I don't know. Oh, it's so difficult. Because Kelleher is playing so well. Why would you look? If it's not broken, don't fix it. You know, Alisson's been out for a while. You know, we don't even know. I don't even know what injury it was. Is it? I heard it was the hamstring, aggravated hamstring or something. But to keep him out this long, he must have popped it, man, or something. So, now what are we saying? Like, he's got to get back into form, right? I don't know. I feel like Kelleher should just stay. I just think it's logical. I think it makes sense. I have no problems with Kelleher being in goal at the moment. It's fantastic. No problems whatsoever. So yeah, that's my thought on that. Diaz, people were calling for Diaz and like talking about his work, not his work rate, his ability. He doesn't like the old Diaz. Today he was fire. He was brilliant today. The guy ran his absolute. He must have covered the most ground. Surely he must have. He must have had the busiest heat map on the whole pitch. Surely he covered the most ground. Surely, I'd love to see that if that's actually a thing. If he actually did cover the most ground out of all the players, or who did, for that matter, who did? Could have been Harvey. Harvey was there up and down, but I feel like Diaz. Certainly, it might have been Harvey though. It might have been Harvey. Could have been Harvey Diaz. It'd be interesting. I might actually look that up and have a look and see for myself who covered the most ground. But yeah, everyone gets on him. He's not the same player. Nah. It's fine. It's fine. He was brilliant. He was. Yes, he didn't finish certain chances, but it is what it is. It doesn't. I don't think he had a great game. You can't take that away from his game just because he didn't score. I don't think you can. If he don't get himself into those positions, we don't even get the chance of those chances. If he's not playing, we don't get anywhere near it. And it's not like he was. I mean, was it one of them or two of them? I don't know. He had a fair few chances. He had like 2 good chances, and then the rest was like half hide. So yeah, maybe he. It's a sticky one. I don't think he played bad at all. I thought he was one of our best players, actually. The energy level that he was showing, and skinning up Rodri and Stones and Kyle Walker, and then obviously helping out Gomez, helping out Robertson. Sorry. Yeah, I thought Diaz was absolutely immense today, and I just want to see people get off of his back. I would have loved him to get a winner, honestly. When they showed his dad in the crowd as well, I was like, I literally wilted a tear. Like, I literally got teary. It was mad. I'd have felt like a crazy. I got emotional. I'll be honest, I got emotional. Yeah. Let's just quickly move on to player ratings. As you know, a rating screen is here, all the new players. We're just gonna go through them quickly. We've spoken about most of them, so we'll just do the ratings for each one, and then we'll roll on to the next game. My prediction, by the way, was 3-2 Liverpool. Sadly, ended up 1-1. Should have been 2-1 to Liverpool. Not the worst result. I'll take it. I prefer it to a loss anyway. Yet we do draw too much. Far too much. Right. So first of all, I'm going to go with Kelleher. Start from goalkeeper and move to the top. So Kelleher, I don't think there was much you could do about that near post one. I think it was a well worked move from City. I think it caught us off guard. There was a little bit of the whole McAllister being blocked thing, but then because McAllister was holding their arm, not an obvious error, not clear and obvious. But yeah, in a cup final, clear and obvious, yeah. Goal disallowed. Rules are jank. Rules are so jank. So I'm gonna go with an 8.5 for Kelleher. I know he conceded the goal, but his footwork today was immense. Supporting defenders when he needed to pass back, or giving them an extra option, not being afraid. His first massive game really in the league, and he was so calm and so chill. Brilliant. Definitely 8.5. Virgil van Dijk and Quansah. Now let's go with Gomez first. See, I thought Gomez did okay. I don't think he was great. A few parts and places where he got caught out. I think I'm gonna go with a 7 for Joe Gomez. Virgil van Dijk, man of the match. Was he better than Quansah? Probably. I'm gonna go with an 8.5. Quansah, I'm gonna go with an 8. I think that's fair. Connor Bradley played, I think, 60 minutes or something like that. I thought he was brilliant. I thought Connor Bradley was solid. As good as Quansah. Should have scored, to be fair. There was a time when he had a massive opportunity and he just should have shot, and he tried to pass it. I was screaming at him, shoot! My God. Bradley, man. Connor, man. Endo was superb today. I think I'm gonna give him a 9. Our center DM. A DM has been born. DM has been born today. Absolutely. McAllister. I thought McAllister was good. Was he an 8.5 or an 8? 8.5 or an 8? I think it was an 8.5. I think he and already were that good in midfield today. Szoboszlai, I thought he started. I thought it was okay actually. Szoboszlai. I think I'm gonna give him. I think I'm gonna give him a 7, same as Joe Gomez. Diaz, I'm going to give 8.5. McAllister scored, didn't he? Oh, got the penalty. Got the penalty, man. 1 second. Okay, so let's just put these 9s here for a minute, because I feel like McAllister should get a 9 because he scored. I don't think I've ever given out a 10. Let's go for a 9. And I think 8.5, I think, was Darwin an 8 or 8.5? 8? 8.5. I think I'll go for 8. I think Nunes was. I think Diaz was better. I'm gonna go for an 8. And then Harvey Elliott played both positions. Played on the wing, and I thought he was better when he dropped into centre midfield for Szoboszlai. Overall, I'm gonna give him an 8 as well. Maybe 8.5. 8.5, yeah, I'll give him an 8.5. He done as much work as fucking Diaz did. And he played 2 positions. Yeah, 8.5. Right. Only 3 players played. Salah came on. Robertson. I think Salah was probably like maybe a 6.5. He wasn't great. Robertson, I think, was much better. Probably like a 7.5 for the amount of time he was on the pitch. And then lastly, Gakpoo. I think Gakpoo just gets a 5. I think he was very average. Half a chance here and there. Yeah. So they are. Gakpoo, Salah, Robertson came on. Yeah, they are the substitutions. The ratings for the subs. Ratings for the team. Well, that's another Liverpool Manchester United game out the way. It's the end, last one for Klopp. Well, actually, no, it's not. We might see them in the final. Might see them in the FA Cup final. It would be lovely to have full strength team in the FA Cup final and then beat them. That'd be the icing on the cake after we've wrapped up the league. Win the FA Cup, then wrap up the league. Win the FA Cup final, then wrap up the league, then win Europa. Sorry. The all 4 trophies. that'd be amazing. And then obviously, I think we'll beat them in a one-off game, held for leather. I think we beat them. The league's interesting because there's still more games to come, and you know, certain things like taking players off early and bringing on other players, certain decisions, you know, might not be made if it's cup tie and the game has to end, and it is all or nothing, you know. And also you got to think about extra time and things like that. But yeah, for sure, I think I'd love to play them in the FA Cup final. I think we'll win. I think we'll beat them, definitely. But yeah, this has been a very long and drawn out preview. Long drawn out preview, live stream. It's taking out. I'm not gonna lie. The excitement, all the excitement, all the build, anticipation, screaming, shouting during the game. Been a good time. But listen, I've been Red Mist LFC Ninja. I'm totally new here in YouTube. If you like anything I'm doing, feel free to tune in again soon. Take it easy. Have a good sleep. Have a good night, day, whatever it might be you're doing. And I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Latest.